Hi Domo, so today we have a guest on my channel. It is second place winner in the Spring Festival Championship. I battled him in the finals and I just wanted to see him face to face, so we decided to do this web camera call and just do some kind of interview today. So I hope you like this video, guys. Subscribe and let's begin. Could you introduce yourself, because I only know your Facebook name, which is Mohammed. Is that correct?
Yeah, Mohammed, yeah.
And do you have like nickname or something that your friends calls you?
I guess sort of. I usually go by Mohammed.
Then I will call you either Mohammed or Mo. And do you by any chance have your own YouTube channel or some kind of social media where other players can find you?
Yeah, I've got some recent things that I've opened up. Like I've got a YouTube channel, Astral Susano, which I've been using it for deck profiles. It's not got that much content at the moment.
So Mohammed, I would like to ask you, how did you felt on that day? And overall, what thoughts do you have about your choices and decisions?
Well, the deck that I played was a last minute choice. So originally I was going to enter with, well, at first Regalia, but then last minute I entered with Valkyrian just to make use of the maximum rarity deck, which you can see the deck profile for on my YouTube channel. But then Bishop had opened up the registrations, they extended the deadline, so then I decided to change last minute. I heard a lot of fear-mongering going on about banning Tara and all that, so just in case, I decided to play the Fenrir deck instead, but mix it with the Worlds list I played last year in January, that I've been looking forward to playing after pandemic. My Worlds list involves using Taro with Soul Blaster cards to try and restand Iwanaga Hime attack multiple times, but I felt like I was going to lose that chance to try again. So that's part of the reason why I decided to run it, in case they, hit the wrong card. But I also have a maximum rarity Fenrir SP deck, so I still want to make use of that as well, just in case.
And for how many years have you been playing?
Vanguard, I think I've been playing it since 2013. I actually watched the anime when it first came out, the very day it came out actually. I watched the first episode. So I was watching the anime from the start. Yeah, I was watching it from the start. But I think after season 1, I sort of slept on Vanguard for a while, and I came back, I think, like during Link Joker. My friend was just telling me, oh yeah, you should come back and watch again, the series gets better again. I think I just sort of fell off a bit in Aegis Circuit because I actually loses his deck and all that stuff. And so yeah, I came back into Vanguard. I had been meaning to play the card game for a long time, but of course it wasn't out in English back when I got into Vanguard through the anime. So I decided then to... Actually, I think the funny story is back then, I think I remember buying an Amazon gift card because I wanted to buy Bleach Soul Resurrection on PlayStation 3 on Amazon. And then I think the price went up on Amazon. Amazon's always a bit funny with prices. And so my gift card was insufficient. I think that's sort of what got me to instead use that voucher money to buy an Aichi start deck. Aichi trial deck. They were called trial decks back then. And yeah, I tried that. 1 week later, I got an Oracle Think Tank trial deck. I then just found myself enjoying Oracle Think Tank more. And I like the Japanese mythology aspect of it. So I've been more into that style. And of course, Genesis sort of appealed to me more when that came out as well. So there's a bit of an aesthetic thing. There is a bit of the Naruto fanboy in me. So when I see cards like Seo or Matarasu, I just think of Naruto, and then I see Susanoo and I'm like, oh, that's so cool. There's like a grade 2 version of Susanoo. And then when they went to Jira, I was like, man, I hope Susanoo gets like a grade 3 version one day. And then they reveal grade 3 Susanoo. I'm like, okay, I'm definitely playing this deck.
Okay, and now let's go back to the championship day. I would also like to ask you, what was your first thoughts when you knew that you will be in the finals facing me? What did you thought at that second?
Oh, I was thinking, I know her. I've spoken to her on Facebook before. Yeah, there's. I think it's. I've been in finals before, so I think for me it wasn't too big of a reaction for me, because it's sort of I'm a bit desensitized sort of in some ways. Like even going second and knowing I was against Hugo, and even when you put down the whole arm, I was just like, okay, well, it's my first time playing against Hugo Nue, because actually ever since Premium Collection came out, I've not had anyone to play against with, and then there's been a bit of a lapse as well because of my inactivity with the game. But I sort of had the ideas of what they might be able to do. Like, okay, I think I can do a bunch of attacks. But the one thing I did forget about was the G unit that you called out for the final attack. I knew about that when they first revealed the stride, but then because of that entire time I've never practiced against the deck, I completely forgot that was actually a thing. So, but it didn't make a difference though. Either way, I would have done, I think so. But yeah, it is what it is. Like, it's a bit exhilarating. There's a bit of that adrenaline rush.
Yes, I was a bit lucky, so I got to go first. I mean, you suggested me to choose card and guess it, and if it was right, I will go first. And actually, I like that method very much. I'm not sure myself, but in the past I played Yu-Gi-Oh! And I would use Mystical Space Typhoon very often to destroy opponents' trap cards, so I actually was very lucky. And that Shibaraku, yeah, I actually didn't use it even once in the tournament, except against you, because I always needed to have a bigger boost, and I never had that one. But in your case, I did, and I was actually reading that Shibaraku skill from far away, like, does it has to be open slot? Oh god, I hope it doesn't need to have an open slot. And then I just summoned him, and then that was the game. So I was kind of lucky. And tell me now, Mohamed, in the next tournament, in the Sunday, in the weekend, will you attend any tournaments? Will you attend the standard or V standard?
I'm looking to register for the standard tournament, maybe a bit later. I've not been sure yet between a few Keta Sanctuary lists. So that's probably what I'll be entering with. I'm definitely
V standard.
V standard. I've already entered for that one. V Premium, I guess it's called now. Yeah, I've entered that one already, and yeah, so that one's all good. I've not played much V actually in a while. I have played the odd game though a little while ago. I think with the same deck I actually entered with. So I hope I kind of get into the swing of things when I play.
And will you tell us what deck you will be using?
Something very shiny.
Something very shiny. And actually, what do you think about Mirakuma that you met in the finals? Should bandless touch them?
Oh god. I try to refrain from talking about restriction lists, especially if it's a clan I don't play. So if I get asked about Genesis, then I could say, okay, well, I could say what each hit might do to the deck, because I've got quite a bit of experience playing with different Genesis cards. Because I play the clan very regularly, so every time there's a new set, I always touch the new support. Whereas I think with well, in a lot of people's cases out there, no one's really touched Genesis for years in competitive play. Like, when was the last time we've even had a Genesis top before Fenrir came out? There's hardly been any in all these years, especially since Tara's been out. We've just had the Fenrir deck on GSET 8 release, but then Hedge Around Dragon came out, and then it sort of just fell off because it was a bit slow, I think. So yeah, I'm a bit concerned that if you hit the wrong card, then you could end up killing the clan. So I'm very wary. I think Bushiroad, though, one of the things that they're very good at doing, and that's not to say every restriction is perfect, mind you, but what they're very good at doing, unlike what I've seen in games like Yu-Gi-Oh!, is that they try to be very careful with what they choose to hit, so they don't end up ruining a deck. And even then, they're very passive about it, because there's implications. If you hit a card, then you deter people from feeling motivated to purchase new products. Like, why would you want to bother building a good deck or practicing or getting attached to something if there's the chance that if it just tops the tournament, they'll just get hit? And it gets a bit toxic if the community then just talks regularly about banning cards, which is sort of one of the things that I didn't really enjoy back in Yu-Gi-Oh! Whereas in Vanguard, I've been sort of liberated from those sort of conversations until a bit more recently. I think maybe since Zazen, but V-Series did have a few hiccups last year, so to say. So I can't really fault people for that. Yeah, so I do refrain from Mirakuma. I would like to see just as much an effort as possible to preserve these cards. That's just my position on it. So, but yeah, I don't have any suggestions on what to hit for Mirakuma.
Okay, and I actually would also like to ask you, in the standard, what do you think, which clan nation will win?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably, I'm going to guess Keta. I mean, I've not played much D, so I've only just picked up the D product last week. I played a bit of D and a little bit of Premium last Saturday. That was actually when I put together the Fenrir deck, I think. So I've tried Bastion and I've tried Hexa Orb. And I mean, before even playing this format, I read the Bastion cards. I thought, wow, this looks broken actually. Like, everything's free. There's no counterblast cost. You can just stuff a deck with 3/3s, and everything just seems to have synergy. It doesn't seem to have much about a failure rate. But then when I actually tried it, like the first game I tried, I just drive check, trigger Perfect Guard one turn, trigger Perfect Guard the next turn. I'm like, wait, Bastion's not doing anything. And I didn't even open that many grade 3s either to call on board, just too many triggers, even after Mulligan. Even though we have a ride deck that's supposed to make it easier. But, you know, a few games that shouldn't really dictate, you know, what Bastion might be like in general, so maybe it was just really bad luck.
And finally, maybe you would like to ask me something? It is our first meeting face to face.
What's your favorite clan actually? Or what would you say?
Actually, my favorite clan is Granblue. So I was kind of lucky that I met Sol and Vanguard. I mean, I'm kind of happy that he managed to build premium Granblue deck that managed to go to the tops. So because I like Granblue much, it was my first deck actually in the Vanguard, and I have been playing Granblue Premium for a lot of time. And in the standard, I also played Granblue. In the standard, I started playing Mirakuma, and now I won with Mirakuma. And for D, I probably will be with Stonehea. Actually, I will play Keter Sanctuary this weekend, but I would be happy if Stonehea would win the championship.
I know that feeling. Maxime's done really well with Granblue. He's been in top 8 before as well with that deck back in London a few years back. I remember there was also last year's World Championship. There was Granblue in second place for Worlds, which, yeah, it's very underrated, I think, at times. I remember when Premium first started, there wasn't too much attention on Granblue, but I was playing Oracle Think Tank, the Itchy Tom, the one that, you know, everyone says is too broken, right? Don't play Premium. I remember playing that, and the matchups I was most scared of were actually Granblue, I think. Not even Jize, because once I knew how to beat Jize, OTT Jize, then I was kind of okay. But yeah, Granblue's always been the boogeyman for me, like the one clan that consistently scares me.
And do you have any final words to our watchers, maybe?
Well, I guess good luck for next weekend if you're taking part. I hope you stick around for when lockdown ends and we can have some physical events again, meet up in person, have some fun card fights. I do miss those days of meeting everyone and seeing more surprises. I think the online event, I did come in below expectations, to be honest, because I didn't think it would actually work out in terms of, you know, connectivity and all that stuff. But yeah, I haven't felt disconnected to the Vanguard community in quite some time. So it was really wonderful. I'm actually glad I took part now, just to have that kind of feeling.
So guys, you hear the man. Vanguard is still amazing, even on the web camera. So everybody should join us on the weekend. Maybe we will meet there. And thanks for watching today's video. And see you in the next video. Ciao.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.